please do not be afraid of your powers. I believe some that start the journey and start to realize how powerful they are, they run back because of fear.
Yes.
Maybe fear of being judged, fear of not using the powers the right way, fear of just having to change so much by stepping into those powers. But baby, when you step into your power, you literally get to fulfill your truth. We all really just want to be our authentic selves, and when you step into your power, that's what comes with it, along with your fulfilled life that you are more than deserving of.
Welcome back to another episode of the Walking Towards Light podcast. I am your host, Walker Williams, and this is a place where you can learn, you can grow your consciousness, and you can be your best self. Today, we have a special guest in the building, a meditation guide, a divine oracle, and a lyricist, Jess The Divine Hippie. What's up? How you doing?
Good? I'm amazing. Grateful to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. This is just something that is aligned and that was meant to happen.
Shame.
I had went to your event, What the Fuck is Meditation? And that was my introductory to you. Mm-hmm. And I knew off the rip, just like I told Onyx, it's like, she's going to be on my podcast. I just knew it. It's just because your knowledge of meditation, your wisdom that you was teaching us, and I just feel like you have a lot to offer, to give to the collective and to the people. So one thing I want to know, because this is like me getting to know you, like, how did you get here? What was the beginning? What led you to this point?
Ooh.
I know that's a that's like a heavy, but like what was the start? Let's go to the beginning.
For sure. Well, the beginning, as far as just my foundation and spirituality itself, started off as a child. So I grew up a preacher's daughter. Okay.
Really?
Yes, honey. I was in the church all day, every day.
Wow.
And that really stuck with me as far as my foundation. But I wanted to learn more. My spirit yearned for more. Okay.
Yes.
And so when my own personal spiritual journey began and I started to seek deeper, it really was 2018, 2019 when I started to ask those questions like, who am I? I just feel like I'm just a mom. I feel like I'm just here to work. I feel like I'm just a wife. No, there's so much more to just me. Who am I?
Yes.
So I wanted to get to know me on a deeper level. And so I started to do that, journaling, asking questions. And then everything, I would say, shattered.
Wow.
Shattered. Things started to fall apart so that I could build them back together on a foundation of my own personal truth.
Yes.
And so from there, 2019, 2020, COVID came through like a damn hailstorm. And I went through a divorce with my ex-husband. I was pregnant at the time, and a lot was shifting in my reality. Okay. And so after I had my daughter, I fell into a deep depression. I started to experience chronic anxiety, and I just got into a place where I didn't even want to be around anymore. I didn't know how I was going to be able to show up for my children, let alone, show up as me.
Yes.
And so I broke down, and I remember just the day that I surrendered, and I was like, look, I got to reach out to something higher, something greater. I've known it's always been there, but I need to build a deeper connection with it, and self, right? That's all in one. And so I remember falling on my knees, and I was like, all right, Spirit, show me, lead me, guide me. I'm here. And from that day,
That's
I was
when
introduced into meditation, and everything started to just expand from there with my healing.
That's when the shift started. So, it's crazy because, you spoke about the divorce and you spoke about depression and anxiety. And I feel like in the darkest moments of people's life, that's when they really have that breakthrough.
For sure.
Right? And you had to find a way. And it's like Spirit just like, here you go.
Yeah.
Like, it guided you to that, right?
Literally, it was a divine gift. I started listening to healing podcasts, and meditation was one of the things that Justin Michael Williams on the Kingdom podcast was doing. And I was like, what is this? I had never heard of the word meditation, but I started to follow along with the guided practices. And from that point, I said, oh, this is it. This is something that I need to be tapping into.
Wow. So now you being a church kid, right? You was born in the church. Like, did that stay with your practices, or did you find a new way of thinking, or how did that transition, or how did that combine?
So one thing I always remind people of is that source will meet you exactly where you are in your spiritual journey. So that was my foundation. And I was led to get a Bible. I had never purchased my own personal Bible, but Spirit knew that would resonate with me at that time on the deepest level. And so I got me a Bible. I was reading through my scriptures. I would meditate on certain things, and Spirit spoke to me through certain passages in the Bible. For a moment, that's where I got most of my messages, aside from meditation. And then, it expounded upon that. But so I started there. And
wow. So let's get into meditation, because I feel like meditation is one of the things that you specialize in.
For sure.
But how can meditation change someone's life? What is meditation for somebody who don't understand meditation?
Yeah. So meditation, I like to explain it as prayers when we speak to God. Meditation is when God speaks to us. So aside from anything outside of yourself, you do have access to God at any given moment by just going within yourself. And so meditation is the process of doing that, being still, shutting out everything around you, cutting out the noise, right? So that we can be in a space of stillness to allow ourselves to hear those divine messages, because Spirit is always speaking.
Yes, 100%.
Sometimes we just can't hear.
And the bridge is literally inside of you.
Yeah.
But you have to go within to understand that. But, I feel like meditation. So what is there's a thing with meditation where you feel like it's not a separation from God. Once you understand meditation, you know that God is within you all the time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. We are one with Source.
That's what I'm saying. And the ideal of that something is outside of you changes. Mm-hmm. It's a big shift. And I feel like, do you feel like what practices for you? Like what type of, because I feel like everybody have a different style of meditation. I feel like everybody, do it a different way. Like what is the best ways? Like, what do you feel like the best techniques for you when it comes to meditation that help you the most?
Yeah, for sure. So I would have to say, for one, the foundation for meditation should be breath work. Okay. Yes. Connecting to your breath. Okay. Breath is literally spirit. Okay. The Latin 100%. Word for spirit is spiritus, and means breath. Yeah. Okay. And so connecting, being intentional with your deep breathing, okay, allowing energy to flow through you and allowing the nervous system to ground, to be in that space to open your vessel, So breath work, movement is important as well. Like even if it's just seated movement, the ability to have your energy flowing really allows for that channel to be open.
Yeah, yeah, your breath is everything.
And we got it. We ain't got to buy it.
You don't got to buy it. It's free.
You ain't got to ask nobody to use it.
Yeah, it's free. Your breath is literally one of the most important things for your life.
Literally. And God breathed life into us. Isn't that what we were taught?
Yes.
Many of us. And that is your connection. I like to call the breath the highway to Source. That's all you need to tap in, literally.
100%.
You ain't got to move. Forget that. Movement is great, but if someone cannot move, if they're not in the space to move or have that capability right now, tap into your breath. You're still breathing. You still have that.
I feel like one of my favorite techniques for me, I realized, because I've been meditating for a long time. Meditation was one of the first techniques that I started on my spiritual journey, to where I started going deep within myself. But I think probably just until last year, like I really gained the importance that the breath is the gateway to get you to higher states of meditation. And I realized that because I was learning about samadhi and what samadhi is and how to reach samadhi. That's the highest level of the meditative state, right? This is where all of the mystics and all of the shamans and all of these people, these ancient ascended masters, they learn how to reach these states to where they can literally be one with consciousness like this, right? Literally in seconds, but it came with constant practice. So I was just like, I'm working on like trying to understand meditation to where I can get to that point. Because a lot of the ancient texts that I read, the Bhagavad Gita, all of these sources with Buddha, the Buddha texts, and all of these things, it teach you about, reaching that goal and about how life is all about getting to that place to where you can get to that highest state of consciousness, to where you can free your soul, you can free your spirit. And I was doing like meditations to where the only thing you had to do was just literally focus on your breath. That's it. It's like that's all it takes, like, because it comes with focus. Like meditation is about being able to focus, because when you're meditating and your mind is everywhere, you can't center yourself, you can't ground yourself in the meditation. So it's like your mind is everywhere to be able to actually reach that meditative state.
With consistency.
Yes. Yes. And that's why I said the important thing with that is breath. Literally, that's all you have to do is just watch and listen to your breath. Like, even it's natural to go off. Your mind is going to wander.
I was going to say, yeah, that's a part of it. And I hear that often. People are like, I can't meditate. My mind won't stop thinking. You literally think 60, 70,000 thoughts a day. You're not going to be able to just sit down and just shut your mind off. But as you continue to show up, the consistency is more important than even how long you meditate. When you're starting off. So like, as you continue to show up and implement different things that helps your mind realize, okay, yeah, we're about to get into this space where we're starting to slow down, you'll eventually get there, Yeah.
I feel like too, you also have to like, it's the little things even before the meditation. Burn you some incense. Like I love to burn Palo Santo. I love to set the energy. One of the techniques that I found, and I was learning from somebody, I forgot who said it, but they was like, burn that incense every time you meditate. So when you meditate, it's like your mind recognizes like, okay, you about to get into that space.
Yeah, that's the mental gym.
Yeah, it's like it already mentally prepares you for that. I want to ask you, what do you think are some misconceptions of meditation? Do you feel like, because I feel like a lot of times people have different ideas of meditation. Yeah. Do you feel like, is there any misconceptions that you would want people to know that, like, it's not that?
For sure. The one that comes to mind off the rip is that meditation will have you abiding by a certain religion or, have you neglecting your own. And the thing is, meditation is literally a one-on-one convention with you and the highest power you believe in. So it's whatever you dive into. It's not going to steer you away from, anything that you believe is your truth. It's actually just going to connect you deeper to what your truth is. Yeah. No,
true. Definitely. There's no, it's literally your sanctuary is.
Yeah. Right here. That's your temple.
Mm-hmm. Your temple is right here. Yeah. And I think a misconception too is just like, it's not a misconception, but I feel like people go in meditation, they think that it's just boring. They think it's boring, and they think they don't understand the reward of going inward consistently, and I feel like for me, meditation has brought a lot of awareness in my life.
So much.
It's crazy. Like, the more you go within, it's like the more that you become aware of the things that you do, the more that you come aware of the energies around you. You be able to pick up better energy, right?
Yeah, for sure. You become sensitive. You unlock so much that has been laid dormant just by going into meditation, because in meditation too, things will, like I said, arise. Things will arise that, we may have been keeping dormant for so long. And, a lot of people tend to run away from that. But when you boss up and you face yourself and you understand that you love yourself enough to face those things that you really want to heal through, your life shifts drastically and you make space for more of what's truly in alignment with you.
Yeah. Because a lot of people think meditation is the devil too. Come on, man. We got to stop doing
it. The devil? That's harsh.
Yes.
Dang.
Yes. They, I feel like that's why I said that I think that's a misconception too, to think that it's something bad, like it's something that you shouldn't be doing. But like literally, like how you was talking about with the negative feelings, this is a part of your healing, right? Yeah. To understand yourself and not run from the things that you've been pushing to the side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because all it's going to come up. But meditation is there for you to face it.
Yeah, and to feel, you know, you have to feel to heal. And the thing is, a lot of the things that will come up for us is not even something that we planted within ourselves. It comes from the conditioning and the upbringing, you know, and so much that we have bottled up that we should have just allowed ourselves to work through.
Yes.
So, yeah, baby, you got to face you. Not even face you, love you, hug you, run to you. You know, I don't want to make it seem like we're facing ourselves like we're at war. It's not war. It's more so just merging with all of us and allowing both to live, you know.
Yes.
Freely.
Yes. And another thing too with meditation, it teaches you how to let go, right? Or not even hold on to your thoughts, right?
And recognize that they're not you. Your thoughts are not you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. You are not your thoughts.
Yes.
Right? Because when a thought come in, and this is a part of awareness, right? Thoughts come in. When you meditate, you can sit there and watch the thoughts. You are observing the thoughts. You are the observer.
Exactly.
You're not your thoughts, but you are the observer that's watching the thoughts.
Yes.
But you have to really continue to practice your meditation to understand that, right?
Yeah. And then the beautiful thing about it, once you are able to sit in that space to observe them without running and without judging, you then come back and say, okay, well, I want to replace that thought. I no longer want to have that replaying in my daily conscious.
Yes.
What am I going to replace it with?
Yes. And see, but then you take your meditation. Just say, okay, I want to ask you this. Because I was about to say something, but I want to ask you this, though.
Sure.
When it comes to meditation routine, do you feel like when is the best time to meditate? What do you think?
Yeah, and the rising, as soon as you wake up, go to meditate. Literally, don't touch your phone, don't turn on any TV, don't talk to anybody unless you have, a baby you need to tend to that baby. But yes, go right within to source, okay? You're in a state of mind to where you can connect quickly, deeper, and you don't have anyone else, anything external adjusting your frequency. Yes. And right before bed. So when you rise and right before you go to bed.
For sure. I think a lot of people talk about meditating early in the morning. Like also if you can get up early for all the viewers. I know sometimes, getting up early is hard, but what do they say about like getting up around the 4 o'clock to 3 o'clock time in the morning?
Yeah.
How special is that?
Yeah, like 2:30 to 4 a.m. Spiritual hours. Some people call them demon hours. No, baby, they lied. It's spiritual hours, okay? And that is when the veil is the thinnest. Everybody else is asleep. There's not so much movement and energy flowing in the world at the moment. And so you can tap into those realms, easier. And baby, a lot of shit shifts then, you know? And so it's very, very vital.
Yes, for sure. That's why I'm happy I asked you that, because when you do it in the rising, it sets the tone. Right?
Yeah, for sure. For the rest of the day.
Yeah, and I think when you start your day off with meditation, you take that mindfulness with you throughout the day. Like I remember, I don't do this now. At one point for like 2 weeks in a row, I was doing an hour meditation. I need to get back to that actually.
Me too.
Because I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to sit in silence. I was sitting in silence and pure silence for 2 weeks in a row for an hour. Pure silence, just listen to my breath like I told you. But that sense of mindfulness, literally, even when I do 30 minutes, 10 minutes, now I just do 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But regardless of what time, the duration of the meditation, that mindfulness you take with you during the day, like that mindfulness, that groundedness, like you take even with your decision making,
yes,
who you come across, events that happen during the day, that sense of mindfulness stays with you, right?
Yes. Yes, it shifts everything. And it's best for you to set your own frequency than allowing someone else to do so once you step out the door. Or once you just pick up your phone and you see something drastic happening in the world, that changes everything and that stays with you for the entire day. Yeah, so I rise so I can set my frequency before my children said it for me.
Exactly. You set your peace for anybody won't come and destroy it.
Yeah.
right? Like once you get that peace within yourself starting the day, you can't fuck with my peace. I already built it within me. You can't mess up that.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, so I think meditation is important. It is very life-changing, game-changing.
Vital, necessary.
Especially for me in my life. This is something that I would vow and I stand behind and down the hill about.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I really appreciate you, and I appreciate that wisdom in meditation, and I feel like even what you do, like you do sound healing, and you do you hold meditation, you hold spaces for meditation.
Yeah.
For like what made you want to give that to the community?
I would feel horrible if I didn't. For me to come across such a gem, you know, and be aware that there's so many other beings who are unaware of what this is, just like I was. And it's like, I could not hold this from anybody. I remember when I first started meditating, I was telling everybody about meditation, and I still do. I ask people all the time, do you meditate? Just random people. But yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, you have to do this. I would send them a guided meditation. Even guys that I used to talk to back in the day, I was like, look, let's get on the phone to meditate, child. I would have them crying. Like, I had many people crying. Like, I've never spoken to, like we would say affirmations. I've never spoken to myself like this before. This lit up something different in me. What am I feeling? You know, so much comes from connecting to self in meditation. And yeah, I had to share it.
Yeah, so I want to ask you this too, because I don't want to forget to talk about this, but you spoke about anxiety and depression. How, when it comes to meditation, how did you get out of that through meditation? Was that the...
Yeah, so our breath is automatically connected to our nervous system, you know, which is responsible for our responses to this reality, fight, flight, freeze, or, you know, allow us to be in a space where we feel safe. So when we activate our breath, okay, and we tend to go into deeper, more controlling breathing, we activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for telling the body that we are safe. We do not have to freeze, flight. We don't have to be in a space of fear. And so doing that breathing, it actually helped me to reprogram my nervous system automatically. So I started to see in my reality, you know, things that may, and I was having panic attacks without even being triggered. Like, it would just be me thinking about having to bathe my daughter, and I'm like, oh, I don't have time for that. Oh, I need space for me, you know. And I would go into a panic attack. But as I did my breath work daily with my meditations, I started to be able to show up better. And wasn't triggered as often.
I feel like that is very important, and I hope that really help a lot of people, because a lot of people now, you know, in certain frequencies, certain realities, is crazy, and people are going through serious anxiety, serious depression in this world. And I feel like us as light workers, and you know, we have to put that out there into the world. And I appreciate what you're doing for the collective, because that's serious. And was there any other things you had to learn through that time that really helped you? Was it just meditation, or was it any realizations that you had within that self to pull you out of that?
I would say just the realization that source was within me when I was able to connect and hear more and receive guidance. My guidance that I received through meditation, you know, told me why I was here, what I was supposed to be doing with my life, the steps that I needed to take with my children, you know. And so, yes, so much comes with it. Yeah, you're healing, but you're also receiving like direct guidance on what your path is supposed to be for you.
Yes.
And so I took heed, and then I got to know, what do I like? What don't I like? You know, Spirit just guided me to ask those questions so that I could better understand myself at the core.
But see, how was you able to listen to that though? Because a lot of times Spirit be talking to people, but they can't hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They not able to understand that gut feeling, that guidance, or sometimes it could be blockages. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be blockages for them not being able to hear this guidance. How do you think people can hear that more and to listen to that guidance and to be
Yeah.
able to hear that, you know, that their spirit guides, or to hear what is that thing.
Okay. Well, for one, I would implement yoga. So yoga starts to move that stagnant energy through the body, allowing a more fluid flow for your vessel. Also, fasting. Fasting was very big, and it's still very. I'm doing a detox right now.
Yeah,
I'm fasting
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
That's a very big thing for us to cleanse out our temple. And you're able to hear more clear when you don't have a lot of blockages within your temple. And blockages could be food. Of course, the food itself is,
Tell me about it.
deadly.
Tell me about it.
Blockages could be what you're watching.
100%.
Blockages could be the people you're around. So just starting to fast and not be afraid to go into isolation and connect with just self to do so.
Yeah, for sure. Isolation is definitely needed. Solitude is definitely needed. I feel like all of those things, once you cleanse your life with because a lot of things can be toxic, like how you said, like what you're watching, what you're eating, the people that you're around. And I feel like once you cleanse those things, the things, and you weed out the things that's not good for your body, that's not good for your energy and your mind, you be able to hear things better. And once you get in solitude and you start, like how we were just talking about meditation, you do yoga, and it's like all of that opens you up to your natural power, your natural ability. And I want to say this before we move on, is that I appreciate you, and I'm grateful that you're able to be here and spread your message and give back to the community the way that you've been. And I truly admire and appreciate that. So thank you for that. I just wanted to say that.
You're welcome. And let me thank you for holding space, for this to be a platform to reach people, to receive these messages, and for you sharing your story as well, because you have a wonderful journey, my friend, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I also wanted to say, though, when it comes to hearing more clearly, and, a lot of people are unaware, is that my intuition? Is that, something I should follow? Follow it. When you hear it, follow it, and then wait for the outcome.
Wow.
Wait for the outcome. If it turns out how it should be and for your highest good, continue to follow that voice. Wow. And then maybe you'll hear a different voice. You follow that one. That didn't work out too well. We know not to follow that voice, okay? And so, because sometimes it's ego. Sometimes it's external, external voices, and it's something as simple as make this right, even though GPS is saying take the next one.
100%.
The next one, there's an accident that spirit was avoiding for you, And so it's just the subtleness that we really need to follow, because, baby, spirit talking.
It's always talking to you, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I want to go into. Like, once you, like how we've been speaking about so far, about removing these things, going within, you be able to hear things more clearly. And that's what I'm saying. I want to ask you, do you feel like, because speaking of the divine oracle, right? Be able to hear these messages. Do you feel like everybody have that power to, because you got clairvoyance, you have clairaudient, you have, do you feel like everybody have that?
We're made in the image of source.
Tell me about it.
We are made in the image of source.
Come on now.
You have it, it's like people call them gifts, but it's like it should be our natural essence. It is our natural essence. We are born with these things. They just get blocked and, shunned because of the conditioning and what we're taught. And so it's been pushed down. But yes, you have access. Within you have access to unlock so much. And I didn't ever think that I was fit to be doing all of this. So, like what?
Yeah.
Spirit.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised. And I think I'm reading a book about, I think it's right there. It's called Spirit Hacking by Shaman Durek. His story is powerful, right? Because he's a shaman now, but he knew his mom and his grandma had these spiritual powers, which we all have, but she was a shaman. I mean, his grandma was a shaman, and she had that clairaudient power to be able to do that, right? But his dad was like in religion and was saying like, no, like and even his dad felt it. It was just ran in their family to be able to do this, and it was easy accessible for them. But his dad was like, no, you can't do this, like, because he got into religion, and it was like he was blocking it, like, you can't do that, you don't need to do that. And like how you say with the conditioning, I feel like we get conditioned from when we are young not to be able to pay attention to those things, you know, like to, even if it's something that feels supernatural that happens, it's like, nah, we not doing that.
Yeah.
No, stop, whatever it is, early, to where you just feel like, oh, this is bad, I can't do it, or I shouldn't be hearing these things, or I shouldn't be seeing these things. Because I feel like even with kids, when they get to that point, because especially like kids that can see things, they scared of it, or they don't really channel that until they get older, and they push it away. That's what I'm saying. So it's just like,
and then the adults don't believe them, you know. Oh, ain't nothing there, ghosts ain't real. But it's not, it's spirits, and they have the ability to see. They just came from a different realm. You know what I'm saying? This is new. This is something, you know, when they're early on in their stages of life, they're basically living within the subconscious.
100%.
Yes.
Until they're 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're still connected to spirit until they're 7. Come on.
Let me tell you, because my son and my daughter both have clairvoyance capabilities. Really? My son sees things all the time. And I'm so grateful to be in this space now where I can tell him, he's drawn all of the pictures of all of the ones that he sees all the time. This spirit does this spirit does that. This one comes when I'm seeing this one comes when I'm here. And this is the energy they give off. And so now I'm in a space now where I'm guiding him, you know, to where you can speak to them. They may have a message for you. We can talk to them together. Or if it's feeling like it's something that needs to be cast down, I'm teaching him how to cast it down. You know, and it's like we have to instill this power instead of fear within them from birth, because fear is how, you know, the world has come to where it is now.
Yes.
It's controlling, and we have no fear that needs to be within our hearts, because we are made in the image of Source. And it's like,
yes, therefore, everything Source can do, we can do it, because we are Source.
yeah,
We are the co-creators.
yeah.
And
Totally.
the power that we have is infinite, and we just can access it. Just tune into the frequency.
Yeah.
Because literally, this whole experience is spiritual, everything. But like how you said, just like, and honestly, it's super dope and amazing what you're doing with your kids, because you letting them know right away, and you not pushing it to the side. Like, you letting them be in their power. Like, this is okay. I'm here with you. Like, I'm going to guide you through this, you know, and help you with that. And I feel like as parents, I'm not a parent, I'm saying as parents, but the role of a parent is there to guide the kids. And I feel like what you're doing is amazing. You setting them off right to where they can hone in that power and not be scared of it or push it away. They can accept it and learn within, because a lot of times, like even with his story with Shaman Durek, he had to hone into his powers later. Because he spent his childhood going through, you know, an abusive situation with his father, you know, trying to make him not be that way. And for you doing that early on is so powerful. And I feel like this is important for the collective, because listen to yourself, listen to spirit, listen. It's everything that you need. The messages, the guidance is right there. Listen to it, feel it, because sometimes it's different. It's clairaudient, clairvoyance, clairsentient.
Claircognizant.
It's a lot of different ways that you can connect. And I think with me personally, I be trying to think about like what is mine. I feel like I'm more of like a feeler. I think I'm able to feel things like empathy, like empathetic wise. Like I feel like I'm a real empath when it comes to energy. Like, and I think that was the cause of me going into my hermit stage, like for a while. For honestly, sure. I'm like partial hermit.
Yeah, that resonates deeply.
I'm still partial hermit because I just love my solitude more than anything. Because once I start going more within, when I go to events or if I go out or if I go to these places and the energy ain't right, I will feel that shit
heavily,
like right here. And to the point to where it's like, this not good for me. And that made me, you know, kind of be in that place to not really, it just made me gain more discernment of what energy I want around me. That's why I feel like when it comes to that, like I feel things. Like I feel. That's why it's like you can't finesse me.
Right. I already know.
you can't finesse somebody that's tapped in for real.
You can't.
With spirit. You can't finesse the finesser. That's my favorite one, because it's like if you think you're gonna get over me or you think you're gonna pull something on me, I already feel that shit. Mm-hmm. You can't get over on me.
And it's like we feel it before we even see it in the physical. And it's like, okay, I got my my guard there.
I know what you want.
And then it starts to manifest. You're like, we already knew, child. All right, spirit. Thank you, spirit.
That's what I'm saying. See, you don't want to mess with somebody that's doing like that's on that tip. You don't want to do that. You don't waste your time, because they gonna already know. They gonna know your intentions. They gonna feel that. That's why I think it's important. The more that we gonna keep saying this the whole podcast, the more you go within, the more you will save yourself from a lot of experiences, a lot of negative people. Because a lot of times it's a lot of energy vampires out here.
For sure.
Out here. But to go and do the work, you can notice that shit before it even get out of hand. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I think all of this is important. I think in your journey, I think all of this is just beautiful. And so from being a divine oracle, from being a meditation guide, now to being a lyricist, right? And music. Let's get into that now.
Music. I love music, sound, resonance.
What was a part of the love of that? When did you start gaining the love of music? I mean, I feel like a lot of people have different relationships with music, of course, but like, what made you want to really start making your own music, or in doing Flow Fridays? I love Flow Friday.
Thank you.
What made you want to start doing that?
Yes. So music has been a part of my spiritual journey. I found myself about 2.5 years ago, still healing, working through things. And I would find myself in the car. I was delivering Uber Eats.
Really?
And I would just find myself listening to instrumentals, and I would just start to flow. And whatever came out for me was what I needed to release in that given moment. And it just became a space for me to release and let go, and it was healing. And so I said, I gotta, share this with the collective. Music in itself, the vibrations, the frequency that comes behind the voice on the music, is so powerful in healing us from within. And so, I started to share my work.
Yeah.
And then I got on stage for the first time, the end of last year, and I just felt at home.
Wow.
I literally felt like I was in my bedroom, and I knew at that moment, this is where I'm supposed to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's just, it's like a ultimate knowing once you get that feeling. Because that's how I feel when I do podcasts. It's just like, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
For you to get on the stage and be like, I'm supposed to be here. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And music is so powerful. Like I don't think we understand how powerful music is. I don't know where I'd be without music.
Every season there's a different playlist.
Like music is probably like the second most important thing to my life, honestly. And for you to start doing music, but not only just making music, but being intentional.
Sure.
I mean, intentional.
Yes.
With the music is another thing. And I feel like that is important because we can listen to nice music, but in the lyrics can say anything. The beat is nice, you rocking with it and this, that.
Twerking.
But twerking, or you rapping, or you want to go to the club, have a good time. But words have power too at the same time.
It's programming.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, but what you do is you putting affirmations in your songs, right?
Yeah, we healing around here, baby. You finna get this beat and some upliftment, okay? And some empowerment and encouragement to tell you that, you gonna keep going, and this is not the end all be all for you, because I've been there,
So what is the importance of affirmations though?
So the importance of affirmations is to remind yourself of who you truly are. because the world has told us otherwise for so long. And so sometimes we have those doubts come up. We have those times where we don't think we can live truthfully.
Yes.
And so reaffirming yourself day in and day out reminds you that you are who you say you are. And then it also reprograms that underlying subconscious conditioning that is telling you otherwise every day.
Yep. Exactly. Because I think we underestimate what it's like listening to music that's like saying crazy stuff all day, right? You can listen to music, rap music, but it's like you really digesting that.
It's going within.
Yes.
And staying within.
Yes, that frequency, like it's just like you listen to rap music, it make you want to drive fast, right? Right? You just want to
drive.
You know what I'm saying? It got you because it's like it puts you. That's why I understand rap in gym. I love listening to rap in gym because it makes you hype. Like it gets you to a certain place to where it gets you through your workout, which is good. But listening to it all day can be something else, right?
Yeah.
Because you those words that's being said, and even if you don't understand, even if you think it's not affecting you, it is.
It is, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, with you, it's like when I listen to your song, it's like I'm feeling abundant. You know what I'm saying? Like it's raising the vibration.
I love that. And I came
Money
a long
come
way.
to me like water.
Like, pull up, got a brand new altar.
Hey.
Let's meditate and breathe
Down
down
the
the offerings.
Hey.
Lit. And that's the thing. You can still get lit to it. I'm a twerker. I can still twerk to that, but I'm not gonna twerk to something that's talking about, niggas ain't shit. No, we gonna talk about, we gods and goddesses.
Exactly. And I love how you go. I be seeing your content that you posted. Like you be in these spots, like you be in these places to where it might be a vast different or diversity of type of people in there. Where they probably might just listen to rap music or whatever, but you still in there.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Putting these affirmations into their energy fields to let you know, like, hey, like, and I feel like that's very important. What inspired you to be in these spaces to do that?
Spirit led. Spirit led. And everything, this is a mission. I'm here on assignment and I'm not leaving nobody out. If anything, I'm going to them first because they're the ones who need to, see that this is something that we should be implementing within our routine and our day in our minds, and it's still cool.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I've built so many connections with people in the rap industry now. I be having thugs crying on my shoulder,
Wow.
Who talking about shoot 'em up, but bang, bang. But, we're healing together.
Oh, that's funny. That's true, though. That's what it be sound like.
Spirit is like, no, you're the one out of many who are coming because the music industry is shifting drastically right now.
Yes.
But this is the space now where we can remind everyone that we are just like you. Back in the day when I did rap in middle school, like everybody else, I was talking crazy too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I can resonate with them.
Yeah. And like I said, we need more of that. And I feel like we need affirmations in general. It's a paradigm shift when you start listening to affirmations. You start saying affirmations. It literally changes your life, your perspective, what you experience. Because you, like how you said with your subconscious, you literally is putting into your subconscious every single day. Then guess what? Your experience will start changing. Your more abundance will start coming into your life because you're saying money coming in like water. Your subconscious is taking it in like that.
Yeah, and expecting that. And the thing is, the subconscious mind doesn't know if something is already happened,
Tell me about
it's in the past, or if you're expecting it to come in the future. If you're speaking it now, your subconscious is ready for it to come now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But see, what you just said is the importance of why you should watch what you saying to yourself. Because it's just like the frequency of these things, because people go through life and not realizing they say these things in their life to themselves that could be negative. They don't know that it's actually affecting their experience. Right?
Yeah. On a cellular level too. It runs deep.
Yeah. Yeah, and your body is water, right?
Yeah, holding that memory,
holding that energy. What is it? 65%. We 65%. About around that range, right? So you have to you have to really think and be more aware of what you're saying to yourself, for sure. What you're listening to. Now, I'm a person that I still listen to all types of music. My music taste is very diverse. It depends on the day. I might listen to Afro beats one day. I might listen to rap. I can't listen to rap all day. I listen to rap in like spurts. Like it depends on the time. Like if I'm in the gym, I love a good rap playlist because that's just the vibe. But like I like to start my morning off, my rising off with slow, kind of getting to the vibe. I like listening to songs that can warm me up. You don't want to start off with just crazy music.
Rah.
I need some good peaceful songs, and then I can get into. I like pop music, all of that. But like I said, if you are, I feel like there should be a balance when it comes to music.
Balance is key. Balance is key. I will say when you're first starting off into diving into just releasing so much and reprogramming, baby, you might have to let that go for a while.
Yeah. You
know?
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I want to ask you this. Okay, now this is it's one of my favorite things to ask. All right. It's the grand old question. What, at this point of life, right? What do you feel like your life purpose is? Could you say it? It's okay if you don't, if you don't have one or you don't have it right now, but if you do, what do you feel like it is?
Sure. It's grand, but to put it in a nutshell.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, my life purpose is to remind us of our power. And so I do that, through many avenues, but it all goes back to, yes, you are here for a reason. Yes, you have something within you that the world needs and that you need to set free so that you can live the life that your heart truly desires. And you don't have to succumb to anything that the world tries to put you in as far as the box that they've created for you. Yeah, I'm just here to remind you of who you are. That's my mission. That's my purpose. Yes. And to let you know that you're not alone, and that what you are experiencing, I probably have experienced in some other form or somebody else beside you has.
Yes, 100%. Do you feel like you came into this life with that goal? Because some people believe that it's already written. It's a contract, a soul contract. Yeah, do you feel like,
for sure,
with you, that was the thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Even in middle school, shout out to Mr. Mapp, my middle school teacher, my sixth grade. Mr. Mapp, I'ma still see your
Mapp?
ticket. Mapp, M-A-P-P.
Mr. Mapp, okay.
Like Dora on the map.
Okay. I got you. That might help people out.
I'm through. So, we did a project where we did All About Me. And on the last page of my All About Me book was, I'm going to be a singer. And I had a picture of Beyonce on there. And he was just like, yes, make sure you send me tickets to your first world tour.
Oh, wow.
Now I'm in the space where I get to send Mr. Mapp some tickets. So I knew then. We know as a child, it's just that someone tells us, no, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. That's not the right way to go. You're supposed to be over here working for somebody for the rest of your life. And if that's a part of your mission, that's fine. But that just wasn't mine.
So early on in middle school, you knew that you wanted to be a singer.
Yeah.
But now it's more layered.
It's layered.
Which is crazy,
it's
right?
It's layered. I had to go through different levels to get here. But now I can implement everything in what I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is funny. With my experience, it was different. When I was a kid, middle school, I wanted to be an NBA player. That wasn't my destiny, though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when I was a kid, but see, the thing, I can look back when I was a kid and know that, okay, I can see why I ended up in this space because I was a curious kid, right? Yeah. I always asked questions. So, and I think that was a thing for me with spirit was it just like, mine was just kind of like, no, right? My thing was like, no, this is not your way. I had to learn that probably around when I was 20 something, around that time. Like I had to learn that, but I went through different avenues and ways to make me understand my life experiences, probably because I did YouTube early on, right? And I was doing reaction videos and I was doing skit videos. I was at that point, I knew I wanted to be an entertainer. I wanted to be either a comedian, entertainer, whatever. I started singing for a second, but
oh yeah, I heard that shit. It was fire. I'm gonna get you on the track.
hey, we can work on something. But it was literally until I came across The Secret. That was the thing. The Secret, the book. And that's when my whole, because I even stopped doing YouTube because I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I want to do something with entertainment, but I don't think this is it for me. I don't think I want to do something more that's going to make more of an impact to the world, but I didn't know what it was at that time. But now, years now, I know I still want to be kind of in the entertainment, but see, now it's layered. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, okay, if I want to do this, I want to do it with intention. I want to do it with a meaning and a purpose behind it. And now I'm at this place and I'm like, oh, I know why I had to go through all of this and get to this point, take the break and all of that. Makes sense.
Yeah. That's the beautiful part about the journey.
That's what I'm saying.
You're always exactly where you're supposed to be. And it's beautiful to reflect, which is why I always encourage journaling. Like just going back and just reflecting on your journey, rereading those things that, you know, you may have forgotten about, but reminds you that you're still where you're supposed to be. Yes. And I just want to go back real quick because I knew in middle school that's what I wanted to be, right? And I feel like so many children come in knowing at their, you know, their soul contract because it's embedded.
Yes.
But I can look back and see when my voice was taken from me and when that shifted drastically as far as what I wanted to be in life.
Oh, wow.
Because I went to school to do forensic science. Like I wanted to be a forensic scientist. Yes.
What is that? That's when like in a crime, that's a crime scene, right? You studying, I don't know the details.
So I didn't want to be on the crime scene.
Okay.
Even though I found out I had to be, which was like, hold on. I wanted to skip that part. But I just wanted to test the things that came from the crime in the lab, you know, to provide what they needed for evidence to solve, you know, cases and things of that nature. Yeah, and also just, you know, being able to study bones. I did anthropology for a long time. And
so, and that shifted for you.
Yes, after I had my hell on earth and I was like, okay, Spirit, because Spirit was guiding me to leave my job. And I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? So when I started to ask those questions, Spirit was like, okay, I'm about to show you.
Wow.
I had forgotten all about, you know, wanting to do music as a child. Yeah. That was no longer in my reality.
And now you're able to bring it back.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's like, I want to ask you this question though. Okay, let's say this, because I'm a person that believe that we come in on soul contracts, right? And we when it comes to what we here to do, we know that coming into this. Now, I do believe, I'm also believe that we forget.
Yes, for sure.
But see, a lot of people don't know that as well. It's not even a question. Damn, we can talk about this though. But a lot of people, this is how my mind works. But
they be like that.
But yeah, because a lot of people think, you know, we forget as kids. You know, it's like what we was talking about earlier, when you still connected to Spirit until the age 7, but it's like once you get into the conditioning part, right? But I wanted to ask you though, do you feel like this is written? Or do you feel like it's already written? Or do you feel like we are making the decisions or as we go? That's a good question. Like
that's
it don't have to
question.
it don't have to be the right answer with this. We just talking.
It's like our soul has agreed, you know, and then we come here, we're sent after that contract is signed, but Spirit also gave us free will. So it's like once you know, are faced with the conditioning and the programming, are you going to stay there? You know, are you going to choose to make different decisions to maybe get back home to your truth? Because, you know, we have the option and you can come back and reincarnate, baby. But
yes, 100%. I'm with you. I believe now. See, the things when you come into this life, it's like, I feel like even with our purpose, right? I feel like we came into this life supposed to be a part of the great shift.
Yeah.
To awaken other souls in this lifetime, right? But a lot of times people can have that mission and get stuck in duality, right? Get stuck into the dualistic world and get caught into this and forget and stay in that state of not remembering, right? And then it becomes a process of having to continue to, reincarnate until you understand those lessons and remember who you are, right?
Yeah.
It's all about remembering.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so beautiful that you said you are here to remind people of who they are. And that is amazing. And that is beautiful. And that's why you are here. That's why I feel like that's why we are in this space right now to collectively, do this for the collective.
Yes.
And I just feel like it's just surreal. It is surreal. It's still surreal to me. Like I was telling you before we started the podcast, it just feel like it's a crazy feeling, to be able to combine our wisdom together and have this conversation and to create a ripple into the universe.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
That is what we're doing. And I'm honored.
I appreciate you. And
I appreciate you.
I love it. I love the conversation that we had. I think we covered a lot. So, but yeah, I appreciate you, what you're doing, your purpose, and what you're here for. It is beautiful. We need more people like you in the world, to remind people and wake people up to know their true power, to know their self, to know their essence, to know that they are God.
Yeah.
You are in the image of God.
Yeah.
And that is important. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
Please do not be afraid of your powers. I believe some that start the journey and start to realize how powerful they are, they run back because of fear.
Yes.
Maybe fear of being judged, fear of not using the powers the right way, fear of just having to change so much by stepping into those powers. But baby, when you step into your power, you literally get to fulfill your truth. We all really just want to be our authentic selves, and when you step into your power, that's what comes with it, along with your fulfilled life that you are more than deserving of. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. If you need a shoulder, I'm here. Don't be afraid. Walker's here, you know? So.
Yes. Step into your power. Step into your power. That's the most important thing. Do you let people know where they can find you? Yeah. Any events that's coming up? You have the floor, your social handles, everything.
Okay. Yes.
She also got me a good sunflower. I really appreciate that. That's crazy. We got to put this up somewhere.
And it's so divine. I literally bought a bunch of sunflowers like 2 days ago, and I was about to leave out, and I saw them, and I was like, I have to give Walker a sunflower. Walking towards the light, and sunflars they automatically turn towards the sun.
Yes.
Towards the light, and
I got to put it somewhere over there. Mm-hmm. And you got me a good old tea.
Divine gang up in this thing.
Ooh, put this on today.
I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you for sure. And some incense. Come on now.
Yes.
Come on now. Gratitude. Okay. We're back. I might keep that in there. Okay. Where people can find you.
Yes. So you can find me on Instagram, TikTok at Jess The Divine Hippie. Okay. Divine is DIVINE. I know y'all like to put the DE sometimes, but it's DI. Okay. You can also find my music streaming on all platforms at Jess The Divine Hippie as well. I'm on YouTube, guys, at Jess The Divine Hippie, but my YouTube channel right now is mainly oracle readings, guided meditations. I'm working on my music YouTube channel, so stay tuned for that. Okay. Yes. And yes, I am going to be a part of some amazing upcoming events. Okay.
Let's hear it.
We are about to tap into April, right? So April the 11th is a It's an event. It's a healing festival, actually, and it's held for crime victims. That's going to be at Dupe and SWAT in Charlotte. Wow. Yes. So I'm super excited. It's going to be vendors, musicians, art.
I'm going to have to pull up.
Pull up.
No, for real.
Yeah. I'm honored to be a part. Yes.
No, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Super dope.
And then on April the 13th, guys, I also have a platform called the Sis Space for all my goddesses out there. I hold events for just us so we can tap into our divine femininity. And we're doing a sacred womb circle. That's going to be on April the 13th. I'm collabing with my sis, Sete, at the Ascension Portal. And so tap in with us. The Sis Space is also on Instagram, sis.space. Okay. And so we're going to tap into our divine femininity and just heal that womb, because that is the most powerful portal that there is. Don't let them lie to you about that. Okay.
100%. And
then, y'all, April 19th, okay, there is going to be the Black Liberation pop-up tour in Charlotte as well.
That's a lot of moves I need to be attending.
Yes, I'm super honored. Shout out to Young E. Dot, who is hosting that event. This is going to be an event filled with taking our power back, literally. It's some Black Panther vibe type shit, okay?
Come on now.
Pop up for the vibes. It's going to be a full concert. I'll be guiding breathwork and affirmations at the opening of the ceremony. And on April the 26th, there's also going to be a Stop the Violence event, okay? This is going to be a big event in Charlotte. Bunch of collaborators coming together to help heal the community. And I'll be there just informing people of my nonprofit Mankind Meditation, which we didn't really tap into, but I'll tell you guys really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a space curated for the homeless. I show up and provide clothing, food, hygiene products, and we do a collective group discussion and meditation with the homeless on the weekends. Yes, Mankind Meditation.
No, you're doing some real work.
Thank you.
You're doing some real spiritual work.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
Yes.
To show up. And I've met some amazing homeless people, and it's just like they're just like us.
They need help as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They need to, be able to have somebody to give that and open them up to what's possible within themselves too.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
They can't be forgotten about as well.
Yeah.
So that's powerful.
That could be you and me, you any day.
Yes.
So, I'm just got tired of people shunning them like they're, from another planet. So, so Mankind Meditation.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Have you done that? Is this the first event or this is
for Mankind Meditation?
No, for the
Stop the Violence.
Not Stop the Violence. The homeless. With the homeless, what's the
Okay, so that's Mankind Meditation. That's my nonprofit. No, I've been doing that for 2 years.
2 years.
And I typically come out to First Ward Park downtown. So I've built a community there.
Wow.
And we set up on Saturday mornings for meditation, donated clothing. I just pick up. I haven't been promoting it a lot lately on social media, which is why you probably haven't heard about it. But summer's coming back around, and I got to get back out there.
Yeah, for
sure.
Do that work. Do that work. Yep.
I always, look on the way here, I turned around to give a homeless guy some food.
I love that.
But, so I always have things with me to pass out.
Yes.
But yes, Mankind Meditation will be popping up at the Stop the Violence music event. I'll be doing free breathwork sessions at that event as well. And just connecting with community to, raise awareness like, baby, we can't keep killing, Yeah. It's enough out here trying to kill us. We got to be the ones to come together and rise and stay living.
Come on now. Yes. 100%.
That's April.
That's it? Love that. Okay, we good? Nah, she got motion, y'all. Hey, dates on dates. Make sure y'all tap in with these events. Y'all got to be here. Got to be there. If you're in Charlotte area, pull up.
Skirt.
Okay. Now, we're all walking towards the light. Make sure you love yourself. Make sure you go inward. Make sure you do that work to help you become more aware in this lifetime. And make sure, most importantly, channel that power in your authentic self.
Yes.
And that's all, people. I really hope y'all appreciate this conversation. Bring your notebooks. Write your notebook. I hope you wrote notes down. I hope you Cause it's a lot to digest in this one. I love y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, all Spotify, all streaming platforms there are. YouTube. Make sure you tap in. We appreciate y'all. Gratitude. And we out.